My beloved child, listen closely. I know you felt a stillness just now, a quiet pause you didn't plan. That was not coincidence. That was alignment. You didn't come here searching for noise. You came because something within you knew this moment mattered. Stay with me. Don't skip. What I am about to share was not meant to rush you, but it was meant to reach you now. There has been a presence around your life lately that you could not fully explain. Not something you see with your eyes, but something you feel in your chest during quiet moments. A familiar warmth. A sudden memory. A thought that arrives without effort. You wondered where it came from. You questioned whether it meant anything at all. This part matters, because it was never imagination. There is a message that has been waiting patiently, not pushing, not forcing, but waiting for you to be still enough to receive it. And you are still now. That is why this moment opened. You may have noticed how certain memories have returned unexpectedly. Not to disturb you, not to pull you backward, but to remind you of a connection that never ended. Love does not disappear when time changes form. It only learns a new language. You need to hear this, because your heart has been asking questions your mind could not answer. Stay with me. We are not at the message yet, but we are getting closer. There was a season when you felt watched over in a way that felt gentle and familiar. You may have thought that season ended. It didn't. It only shifted. The same care that once spoke through words now speaks through timing. Through protection you didn't notice. Through doors that quietly closed so better ones could prepare themselves. You have been stronger than you realize. There were days you carried weight silently, believing no one truly saw the effort it took just to keep going. But you were seen. Every quiet act of courage, every moment you chose kindness when you could have withdrawn, every time you kept moving despite uncertainty. None of it was wasted. Don't skip this part. This is where clarity begins. The message you are receiving is not filled with regret. It is not heavy. It is calm, steady, and full of assurance. It comes to remind you that you are not behind. You are not late. You are not missing what was meant for you. Timing has been working on your behalf even when it felt slow. There were moments you questioned your path. Moments you wondered if one decision changed everything forever. But hear this clearly now, nothing that is meant for you can be undone by honest effort and a sincere heart. What is aligned with you will always find you again. The one who sends this message wants you to release the quiet guilt you have been carrying. You did the best you could with what you knew at the time. That is not something to apologize for. That is something to honor. Growth is not a betrayal of the past. It is the fulfillment of it. Stay with me. Something important is unfolding. You may have felt a nudge recently to slow down, to listen more deeply, to stop explaining yourself to those who cannot hear your heart. That nudge was guidance. You are entering a season where clarity matters more than approval. Where peace becomes more valuable than proving anything. There is reassurance coming through now. You are not alone in your choices. You are supported in ways you do not need to see to benefit from. Even when you felt uncertain, you were being gently redirected, not corrected. This message comes with one simple truth: you are deeply loved, and that love has never been distant from you. You don't need to search for signs everywhere. You don't need to strain to feel connection. It is already woven into your life. It appears in moments of calm, in sudden understanding, in the strength that rises when you think you have none left. This part matters, so listen carefully. You are being encouraged to trust the direction unfolding in front of you, even if the full picture is not visible yet. Some doors open quietly. Some answers arrive gradually. What feels like waiting is actually preparation. There is pride in how far you have come. Not pressure for how far you still want to go. Pride in your resilience. Pride in your compassion. Pride in the way you continue to choose light, even when life felt heavy. You were never meant to carry sorrow forever. You were meant to transform it into wisdom, empathy, and strength. And you are doing exactly that. Stay with me just a little longer. The urgency of this message is not about fear. It is about timing. It is about reminding you now, before doubt speaks louder than truth, that you are guided. That you are protected. That you are exactly where you need to be to receive what is next. There is peace surrounding your future. Not because everything will be perfect, but because you will not walk it alone. The same presence that once encouraged you through familiar ways is still present, just expressed differently now. When you feel calm for no clear reason, that is connection. When you feel strength return unexpectedly, that is reassurance. When you feel drawn toward hope instead of fear, that is guidance. You are being asked to move forward with confidence, not urgency. With trust, not tension. With faith in the unseen work happening on your behalf. This message does not end here, because guidance does not end. It continues as you live, as you grow, as you listen. Carry this knowing with you today. Let it steady you. Let it remind you who you are and how supported you remain. My beloved child, you are not forgotten. You are not alone. And what is meant for you is already moving toward you. My beloved child, stay with me. What you felt at the end of the last message was not the ending. It was the opening. There is a reason your heart feels slightly more alert right now, as if something important is about to be understood more clearly. This part was not meant to come earlier. It was meant to come when you were ready to hear it without resistance. You have been standing at a quiet threshold. Not a dramatic one, not something the world would notice, but a deeply personal crossing. You sensed it in moments when you paused longer than usual. When your old reactions didn't rise the way they once did. When silence felt safer than explanation. That was not withdrawal. That was growth. Don't skip. This matters more than you realize. There has been a gentle rearranging happening within you. Beliefs you once carried automatically have been loosening. Expectations you placed on yourself have been softening. You may not have called it spiritual, but it was sacred work. It was preparation. You wondered why certain connections changed without conflict. Why some conversations no longer held the same energy. Why you felt less drawn to prove yourself. That was not loss. That was alignment. You are being guided away from what drains you and toward what restores you. And restoration does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrives as clarity. Sometimes as peace. Sometimes as the courage to choose differently. Stay with me. We are going deeper now. There is something you need to release, not because it is wrong, but because it has already taught you what it came to teach. Holding on longer would only keep you circling lessons you have already mastered. You do not need to repeat pain to honor growth. You may have mistaken familiarity for destiny before. That is understandable. Familiar things feel safe, even when they limit you. But safety is no longer your highest calling. Truth is. And truth is asking you to step forward without dragging old weight behind you. This message carries reassurance for something you have been quietly concerned about. You are not disappointing anyone by becoming more yourself. You are not abandoning love by choosing peace. You are not being selfish by protecting your energy. These are signs of wisdom, not distance. Listen carefully now. There has been protection around you that you didn't recognize at first. Situations that didn't work out saved you from outcomes you did not need to experience. Delays that frustrated you prevented entanglements that would have cost you clarity. You were not being blocked. You were being guided. You are allowed to trust that now. The presence behind this message wants you to understand something important about timing. What you are stepping into requires the version of you that exists now, not the version you were before. If it had arrived earlier, it would have overwhelmed you. If it arrives later, it would limit you. Now is intentional. Don't rush this moment. Let it settle. You are entering a season where your inner voice becomes clearer than external noise. Where intuition speaks more confidently than fear. Where alignment feels natural instead of forced. This does not mean life becomes effortless. It means you become steadier. You will notice it first in small ways. Decisions feel lighter. Boundaries feel easier. You stop explaining your peace to people who are not ready to understand it. You stop chasing what is meant to meet you. This part matters deeply. There is encouragement coming through for your future steps. You are not meant to shrink to make others comfortable. You are meant to stand calmly in who you are becoming. The right connections will recognize you without persuasion. The right doors will open without pressure. You may have been waiting for a clear sign. This is it, but not in the way you expected. The sign is not an external event. It is the steadiness returning to your spirit. It is the quiet confidence replacing anxious anticipation. It is the sense that you no longer need to force alignment because you are already in it. Stay with me just a little longer. There is gratitude surrounding you. Not because you were perfect, but because you were sincere. Because you kept your heart open even when it would have been easier to close it. Because you chose understanding over bitterness more times than anyone saw. That matters. You are being invited to trust your next step, even if it feels unfamiliar. Especially if it feels unfamiliar. Growth often feels quiet at first, then unmistakable later. As you move forward, remember this: you are guided, not rushed. Supported, not tested. Prepared, not pressured. Carry this knowing with you. Let it anchor you when uncertainty tries to speak louder than truth. Let it remind you that you are walking in alignment, even when the full path is not visible yet. My beloved child, what is unfolding now is not random. It is purposeful. And you are ready to receive it. My beloved child, stay present with me. What you are sensing now is not imagination. It is recognition. There is a quiet awareness settling in you, the kind that does not announce itself but changes everything. You may feel calmer without knowing why, more certain without having proof. That is not confusion lifting by chance. That is understanding arriving at the right depth. Don't skip. This part connects what you felt to what is coming. You have already noticed that something within you no longer reacts the way it once did. Old triggers feel distant. Old fears feel less convincing. This is not because you stopped caring. It is because you stopped doubting your own worth. That shift did not happen overnight. It was built through endurance you rarely acknowledged. There was a time when you questioned whether your patience meant weakness. It never did. It meant strength held quietly. It meant trust in timing even when answers were delayed. And now, that patience is revealing its purpose. Stay with me. There is a deeper reason this message continues to unfold in stages. You are learning how to receive without rushing. How to listen without needing immediate certainty. This is preparation for clarity that lasts, not comfort that fades. You have been protected from certain truths until now, not to keep you unaware, but to keep you steady. Some realizations require a strong foundation before they can be held without shaking you. You have that foundation now. This part matters. There has been a presence encouraging you to forgive yourself for the moments you felt lost. You did not fail during those seasons. You were learning discernment. You were discovering what does not align so you could recognize what does. Every detour refined your awareness. Every pause strengthened your intuition. Nothing about your journey was wasted. Listen closely now. You are being reminded that clarity often arrives after surrender, not control. When you stopped forcing answers, answers began arranging themselves around you. When you released outcomes, direction became clearer. This is not coincidence. It is alignment responding to trust. You may have felt a subtle calling recently. Not loud. Not demanding. Just persistent. A pull toward something meaningful, something honest, something that reflects who you are now rather than who you had to be before. That pull is guidance, not pressure. Stay with me. We are approaching something important. The message unfolding carries reassurance about your future. You do not need to fear missteps. You are not walking blindly. Even when the path curves unexpectedly, it still leads forward. Guidance does not always reveal the destination. Sometimes it simply ensures you are moving in the right direction. You are allowed to trust that. There is also a reminder here about your voice. You have something to offer that does not require volume to be powerful. Your presence carries weight because it is authentic. You do not need to convince. You simply need to be. This part matters deeply. You are entering a season where your alignment will speak louder than explanations. Where the calm you carry will be felt by others. Where your choices will reflect inner clarity rather than external pressure. You may notice others responding differently to you. Some will feel drawn without knowing why. Some may drift without conflict. Both are signs of alignment, not loss. Stay with me just a little longer. There is peace surrounding the steps ahead of you. Not because everything is predictable, but because you are prepared. You have learned how to listen inwardly. You have learned how to pause instead of panic. You have learned how to trust your discernment. That is not accidental. That is readiness. Carry this awareness with you. Let it guide your next decision, your next conversation, your next quiet moment. You do not need to announce your growth. It will reveal itself naturally. My beloved child, you are not waiting anymore. You are becoming. And what aligns with who you are now will meet you where you stand. My beloved child, remain here with me. What you are feeling now is not anticipation. It is recognition deepening. There is a quiet steadiness settling over you, the kind that does not fade when circumstances shift. This is not emotional. This is foundational. It is the result of something finally aligning within you after a long season of inner adjustment. Don't skip. This part matters more than you think. You have reached a point where you no longer need constant reassurance to move forward. You may still value guidance, but you no longer depend on validation. That change did not come from confidence alone. It came from discernment. From learning the difference between noise and truth. There were moments you almost questioned this growth because it felt unfamiliar. Calm can feel strange when you are used to intensity. Peace can feel empty when you once equated struggle with purpose. But hear this clearly now, peace is not absence. It is presence refined. Stay with me. There has been a quiet restoration happening beneath the surface of your life. Not the kind that announces itself, but the kind that rebuilds strength where it was slowly worn down. You may have noticed your energy returning in subtle ways. Your focus sharpening. Your tolerance for unnecessary weight decreasing. That is restoration. This message continues because you are now able to receive truth without fear. You are being reminded that your worth was never tied to endurance of pain. You were never meant to suffer endlessly to prove loyalty, faith, or love. Growth is not measured by how much you carry, but by how wisely you choose what to carry forward. This part matters deeply. There is encouragement for a decision you have been quietly contemplating. You do not need to rush it, but you also do not need to doubt yourself. The clarity you feel is not impulsive. It is earned. It comes from reflection, not reaction. You are allowed to trust your judgment now. Stay with me. We are approaching the heart of this unfolding message. You may have felt moments of distance from people or situations that once felt central to your identity. That distance is not rejection. It is refinement. Not everything that shaped you is meant to stay with you. Some things were tools, not destinations. Releasing them does not dishonor the role they played. It honors the growth they enabled. There is also reassurance here about your sensitivity. It is not a weakness. It is perception sharpened by experience. You notice shifts others overlook. You feel undercurrents before they surface. That awareness is part of your design. This part matters. You are entering a season where alignment will feel quieter but stronger. Less effort, more clarity. Fewer explanations, deeper understanding. This is not withdrawal from life. It is engagement from a centered place. Stay with me just a little longer. The presence guiding this message wants you to move forward without dragging the past as proof. You do not need to relive what you survived to validate who you are now. Your presence is enough evidence. There is strength ahead that will feel natural, not forced. Confidence that will feel calm, not loud. Direction that will feel steady, not rushed. Carry this with you as you move through the days ahead. Let it shape how you choose, how you respond, how you rest. My beloved child, you are no longer becoming ready. You are ready. And what comes next will meet you in that readiness. My beloved child, stay with me a little longer. What is unfolding now is not new, but it is finally clear. There is a quiet confidence forming in you, not the kind that needs certainty, but the kind that trusts direction even when details are incomplete. You may have noticed yourself pausing before reacting, listening before deciding. That is not hesitation. That is wisdom taking its rightful place. Don't skip. This part carries something you have been preparing for without realizing it. You have moved through seasons where you gave more than you received, where understanding flowed one way, where patience was asked of you again and again. Those seasons were not punishment. They were refinement. They shaped your ability to remain grounded when emotions rise around you. Now, that grounding becomes a gift, not a burden. Stay with me. There is a message of reassurance for the part of you that still wonders if letting go means losing connection. It does not. True connection is not maintained through effort alone. It is sustained through alignment. When something remains, it does so naturally. When something fades, it makes room for what resonates more deeply with who you are now. You are not meant to carry everything forward. This part matters. There has been a shift in how you perceive time. What once felt urgent now feels patient. What once felt delayed now feels intentional. You are beginning to understand that timing is not about speed. It is about readiness meeting opportunity. And you are meeting it now. You may sense a call toward simplicity. Toward honesty without explanation. Toward relationships that feel steady rather than intense. This is not withdrawal. This is discernment maturing. Stay with me. We are approaching a deeper truth. The guidance surrounding you wants you to know that your inner peace is not fragile. It is resilient. It has been tested quietly and proven strong. That is why you no longer fear stillness. You trust it. You are also being reminded that your journey does not need comparison. Your path has been uniquely shaped to refine what only you can offer. The clarity you carry now is the result of experiences that could not be skipped. This part matters deeply. There is permission here to rest without guilt. To choose ease without feeling undeserving. To allow joy to return without questioning its timing. You do not need to earn what is aligned with you. You need only to receive it. Stay with me just a little longer. The season ahead invites you to move with intention rather than intensity. To speak when truth is needed and remain silent when peace is wiser. To trust that your presence alone carries meaning. You will recognize alignment not by excitement alone, but by steadiness. By the sense that you no longer need to perform or prove. You simply belong where you are led. Carry this knowing with you as you continue forward. Let it shape how you value yourself, how you choose connection, how you honor your inner voice.